Hi everyone! Welcome back to Free Flow Friday. We are coming live from New York, moving through the symptoms of the book, and today is all about the spine, which is so important. I mean, like, without our spine, who would we be?
Mm-hmm. It holds us upright, and also each of the cervicals, thoracics, and lumbars are related to a certain organ because there's all these nerves coming out.
Yes, right? Like, yeah, it's also where our nervous system runs through, right? Like, doesn't it go along the spine? So, yeah, I think discussing spine health is great for everyone, anyone, any age. And yeah, I know we have a special flow to go through.
Yes, so the special flow that I would like to present to you today is called the Eternal Life Flow. And this is actually only in Pamela's book, in her text 1. And it is, we see it also in the facilitator. So this is for the more advanced people who are really big students of Jin Jitsu. It's in the facilitators, and it's called the Eternal Life Flow. It's the last one, and it connects us to depth 7, and depth 7 is our jumper cable energy, which we use when we apply our hands to the body. So this flow will bring us in touch with all of those and connects us to depth 7. So I love this flow. It's very simple to do, and Lola and I are going to show it first on ourselves, and then I'm going to turn her around and we'll go through each of the vertebra.
Yeah, and just before we jump into that, I want to say, if you're tuning in with us live, you can let us know where you're watching from. You know, if you have a specific question, sometimes we do have time at the end. And yeah, feel free to, of course, practice along with us. That's why we create this space.
Mm-hmm. So since we're going to work on the spine, we are dealing with specific hand that we place on our forehead and specific hand that we place on the back. So we should do that.
Sure.
Yeah, so the left hand goes to the forehead. So we would do it.
Oh.
Yes?
Because we're in mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
So place your left hand on the middle of the forehead and place your right hand on C1, which is on the back.
And is that like the top of the spine?
It's the top of the spine, which we are going to go, I'm going to show it after. So I'm quickly going to move through it, and then I'm going to show it vertebra by vertebra. So you can start to practice along. Place your left hand between the eyebrows, and this sends the energy up over the top of the head and then down. So this flow moves down the front and down the back, which is unusual because usually we know the energy flows up the back and down the front. But this one, it's like this light from the 7th depth coming down the spine, down the front and down the back. So it just moves up here over the top of the head, but then from under the nose, it moves down. So down the front and down the back. So just to briefly explain how we're going to do it is we're going to move from C1, we're going to move through all the cervicals down the neck. And then we go to T1, T2, T3, T4, T5.
So where does T1 start?
Yeah, I'm going to show that after we move through it. And then you're going to pick, so you go as low as you can go. Go as low as you can go.
Low as you can go.
Right. And then turn your hand around and pick it up from where you can reach this way. So you may miss a few thoracics, which is okay. And then move all the way down to the spine, to the coccyx. So now you understand why we're going to twist you around, and we're going to go over it again, and I'm going to show you each of the vertebrae and where they are located. Okay?
And I just want to say also, you know, this is a perfect example of maybe you're watching and you have more specific questions, and maybe it's like, could I ask this live? Would there be enough time? I know you were thinking of a way that people could have an opportunity to ask questions in more of like a study group format. Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes, so this is for the, you mean for the curriculum students? Yes, so for the people who have bought the curriculum package or who will buy it, I'm going to start a once a month Zoom study group. So this will be for our global community and for you to have a chance to ask questions, share experiences, because I do feel that it's important for you to have a chance as you're working through the material to have a direct connection with this community. So we're starting this.
We're
soon.
starting it September 1st. So it'll be the first Wednesday of every month. If you've already purchased the curriculum, it is still the same price. You know, this is a free additional offering. And if you're going to purchase it, that will also be included. Because, yeah, we've really created this so it can be like hands off, like you're allowed to go at your own speed. But I do feel like having that live, interactive learning opportunity, you know, asking Alexis directly, pulling from the group is just so important.
It's really important since we do
learning.
less in-house now to still have this connection and for us to connect live. So
Yeah.
yes, I hope that many of you will join.
Yeah, so we'll share more information.
All right,
that
so
later.
you turn around. So I'm going to explain how the vertebra works. So again, move along with us. Practice. I had a client yesterday. She loves her videos, but she's not practicing along. So I told her that's why we're doing this, is to practice along.
Not just to watch it.
Not just to watch it. Okay, so place your left hand on the middle of your forehead, and then the right hand goes to C1, which is all the way on the top here. Yes. So C1 helps depth 1, and I have a beautiful chart here that our illustrator Liza created that I'm just going to show, that I will make available also to the community, and that will be in the depth textbook too, that's coming out soon. So as I'm talking, you can always turn off the sound if you just want to practice quietly. But C1 helps depth 1, and the cervicals, overall the neck helps depth 1. So if you have any depth 1 projects, you can just even work this part of it. So then slowly moving down to C2. So C1 and C2 are really at the level of SEL4. And so again, that's also depth 1. And C1 also helps to lower fevers. So very nice hold. Then C2 is related to depth 3. There's a relationship. And you can stay there for a few minutes. Bringing the energy from the 7th depth, the light, down your body and letting it feed your nervous system and all your vertebrae. So I have a question here. Is this different than the Pam Smith curriculum set? Alexis Maynard, cool, love how you... Okay, great. Thank you, Catherine. It's not really
Great
a question. It was a statement.
Oh.
Alexis made her own. Yes, I did make my own. So Lola will put some links in the box later. So then moving to C3, which is between SEL4 and SEL12. So working through the vertebrae, you're also really learning where the safety energy locations are. And C3 helps depth 5. And then going to C4, which connects us to depth 7, which is the light. And people who have projects here, which we see quite often, it's very important to harmonize it because it is our connection to the light, which is so important for our health and our spiritual well-being. C4 is at the level of SEL12, which is here. Okay. And then moving along to C5 has a relationship to depth 2. And the cervicals are also called the order of transformation. And we learn when we listen to the pulses, we learn more about that. And then C6 is related to depth 4. And C7 to depth 6. Okay, so now we can see how important the cervicals are. Each of them are also related to a planet, which we will go over another time. And if you study with Wayne and Carlos, they talk a lot about the planets. So I don't have to do that right now. So this is the big one here is C7, and then we go into T1, which is at the level of the 11s. T1 right here, very important. All the finger flows move through T1. So T1 is very important for our reproductive system. And there's a relationship to the lungs. So if you have lung projects, then check your T1. And then we have T2, right below it here. T2 is related to large intestine energy. So this is on a vertebrae level, representing T2, representing large intestine. And then T3, related to the stomach energy, and T3 is at the level of SEL3. SEL3 is right here, the shoulder blade is here, and so SEL3 is here. Lola's, this one side is a little bit tighter on her. Right? Yeah, checking you out in the meanwhile. And then we have T4. So hopefully you can still, can you just move your hand? No, you would come from above still. Yeah, you see, you still would come from above. And then T5, T4 helps the spleen energy, and then T5 helps the heart energy. So I don't know if you can reach that. T5 is at the level of SEL10. Yeah, so this may be as far down you can go. If you can't go further down, then you can skip those few vertebrae, even though, yeah, I love T5. If you can reach it, that is great, helping the heart and opening up the heart. And then you would probably come the other way around from below to T6, which is related to small intestine, but even that is hard to reach. So you may have to skip those. But know that as the energy is moving down the back, even if you open up above and below, the energy will move through this area. And then we have T7. So no, we have, yeah, T6 small intestine, and then T7 bladder. It's a little tender in you, or no? Maybe tiny. And I get to know Lola from the spine perspective. Yeah. T7 is between SEL10 and SEL9, and then T8, kidney energy. So if you have kidney projects, if you have bladder projects, or any of these organs that I'm talking about, this is a sign. If the vertebra is tight, you might want to do that organ flow. So I hope that makes sense to you. This is a good indicator of what is going on with our organ function energy. And then we have T9, and T9 is related to diaphragm energy, and that's at the level of 9, and T10 as well, umbilicus. So 9 and 10, there's a relationship to the sixth depth, diaphragm and umbilicus energy. Also, I said the neck is related to first depth, and then this area to the fourth depth, from the front and the back. So front and back relationship to depth 4. So, you know, this is just fun, and while we're always continuing our studies, this is probably interesting, just information for the students who have textbook materials and who are continuing their studies. For all the new people, just practice this flow. Knows this flow brings you in harmony with universal energy, with the light, which is so important for our life, that we are shining bright. Right?
Absolutely.
She's the light here. She's my little light.
Aww. Very well.
And then T11, gallbladder, related to gallbladder energy. So anything that's going on with your gallbladder, you can just hold T11. And then T12, we have the liver energy. And so T12 is at the level of SEL23, which is here at the middle of the back. Yes. And then as this area was related to fourth depth, then this area is related to second depth. Okay? So you're harmonizing the cycles of energy on so many different levels. So lumbar 1 is related to depth 3. And a lot of people have projects in their lumbar spine. Either by, just because we put a lot of pressure on it when we're standing upright. Sometimes these vertebrae get compressed. So this flow is really important to keep all the spaces between the vertebrae healthy, the discs, and a healthy spine. So this is very easy to reach. Can you just show how you reach it? Yeah, so you can use the back of your hand or your fingertips. Personally, I like to use my fingertips. They're most sensitive. But certainly, if it's more comfortable, you can use the back of your hand. Lumbar 2 is related to depth 2, so that's an easy one to remember. L3 is related to depth 5. And L4 is related to depth 4. And moving down here, L5 is related to depth 1. And a lot of people have projects between L4 and L5. I'm just going to lower this a little bit so you can see it. A lot of people have projects here, and this can also be the cause for projects like sciatica. Now, I just want to explain one more thing before we move on to the coccyx. So just stay here as I'm talking. The neck is related to the planets. The thoracics related to our zodiac, and the lumbar spine is related to the elements. So again, you are seeing that we're going from the planets to the zodiac, dancing down to the elements, and then to the sacrum and the coccyx. So the spine, if we study the spine, that can in and of itself be a lifetime study. And if you truly understand it on all these different levels, then all the answers within Jin Shin Jitsu, or the art of Jinshin, are within this chart. Yeah. Oh, so you probably see this in reverse. That's okay. So again, for the people who are just joining, we're putting the We're putting the left hand between the eyebrows, the left hand between the eyebrows, and the right hand moving down the spine. So the last step is the coccyx bone. After you're not now ready, you have opened up the lumbar spine. You're going to the coccyx, the sacrum. The sacrum, which is a triangle bone. And sometimes people tell me that they have a referring pain going down into the groin. Then check out the sacrum. And so you can go off to the right a little bit and off to the left a little bit. And then lastly, moving into the coccyx area. And the coccyx and sacrum area represent the third depth. It's where source energy comes in. And so I start all of my sessions when I work with clients. I sit on their left side and I bring my hands to their sacrum and coccyx area to open up this third depth source energy to connect them. So even if there's a project and I want to work on their head, first I open up this, and while I'm opening up the sacrum coccyx area, I also get a lot of messages what's going on with their body. Okay, thank you, Lola. Thank you. So here's Lola again. How was that for you?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So powerful little flow,
Yeah.
and I hope you enjoy. Yeah, if you have any more questions, you can put it in the comment box. I hope this was helpful.
Yeah.
Of course, this is similar to the main center source, where you work, you place the right hand on top of the head and the left hand between the eyebrows, and you work down the spine. This also helps the spine. It just works on a different level, and so you can play around with it and see what works for you. A quick hold for is also to place our palms together, but it's really unique that with this flow we connect into seventh depth, which is pure universal energy. And so I recommend this flow. So practice this weekend and let us know what you feel.
Yeah, that was really nice. And if people are interested in this answer sheet, we were considering, making this available for purchase to download. It's really quite beautiful and comprehensive. And again, if you have interest in the study group that we're setting up, let us know. You can always shoot me a message, Alexis, our Facebook page, and we would love to have you join us and, be on this journey of continually learning and mastering this art. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you all for joining us today. And
yeah, I hope you all learned a lot. That was
so much to learn.
I know. I was learning, even just like the positions on the spine.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we will be back next Friday. All right. Bye.
Bye.